It's with absolute delight that I welcome you today on this historic Conscious Planet SaveSoil event. I'm Leyla Gulieva, your host today. Aziz dostlar, alqışlarınızı daha gür, daha ürəkdən etməyə çəkinməyin. Çünki səhnədə olanlar da, birazdan dəvət edəcəyim insanlar da sizin alqışlarınızdan güc alacaq, enerji alacaq. Ona görə də lütfən çəkinmədən öz hissinizi, emosiyalarınızı alqışlarınıza yansıdın. Sadhguru, the founder of Conscious Planet and SaveSoil, will be joining us later on stage. Sadhguru started his solo motorbike journey from London on the 21st of March, which will take him 30,000 kilometers across 27 countries, from the UK to the Middle East and then to India. Birmingham, London, Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Ljubljana, Venice, Paris, Brussels, Cologne, Sofia, Bucharest, Istanbul, Tbilisi are the cities that have hosted SaveSoil events so far. And today we are in Azerbaijan to spread a message of environmental awareness. SaveSoil is necessary to maintain life on our planet. And as I mentioned before, Sadhguru have traveled across several countries, and of course he met several people, different audiences, and today is a different day because we are in the land of fire, because we are in Baku, and he has to feel the energy of Baku. Of course we can feel your energy, we can feel the energy of fire and your love because we are in Azerbaijan. Let's make him feel our love with our applaudience. Applauses, please.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll say that we'll wait for a few more minutes and the band will, and the band will continue playing.
What's the name of the band?
Sounds of Disha.
Okay.
Dear friends, we are still waiting for our guests. As you see, we have so much places left. And that's why we have to wait a little, but it doesn't mean that you will wait and just sit and it will be boring. No. You see the amazing band on the stage. Please make a warm noise for them. And now we will listen, and now we will hear the magical sounds of music. Please welcome once more again, Sounds of Isha!
Start it all up.
Mati
मिट्टी से बनी है जान मेरी, मिट्टी से बनी है जमीन मेरी, मिट्टी ने दिया है निवाला हमें, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। मिट्टी से बनी है जान मेरी, मिट्टी से बनी है जमीन मेरी, मिट्टी ने दिया है निवाला हमें, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। ओ माई तेरी ममता जो मिली, हर जुल्म के बदले प्रेम मिली, यह जन्म का बंधन गोद तेरा, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। ओ माई तेरी ममता जो मिली, हर जुल्म के बदले प्रेम मिली, यह जन्म का बंधन गोद तेरा, एहसान तेरा छूटे न कभी। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के, मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरी खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। हो बन के मैं खिल जावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरी खेतों में लहरावा, इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। ओ माए मेरी सारी जीवन है मेहरबान तेरी, आएगी बहारे फिर तुझ में बड़े यहाँ जान में।
Really amazing. Sounds official. Let's make a warm noise for them as well. So dear friends, as far as we are in Hyder Aliyev Center, and we are here for Sadhguru, and we are ready to meet him on this beautiful stage, and we are ready to hear his thoughts, and of course we want to know more about his journey. As you see the map on the screen, now we are in Baku, and then we're gonna go to Tel Aviv, Amman, Manama, Riyadh, Dubai, and so far. And so he has so many places to visit, but we have to make this meeting special. We have to make him feel the real energy of Azerbaijan. Of course, he has visited Azerbaijan several times, but this meeting is very special for us and very special for Sadhguru. Let's make a big, warm applause for Sadhguru and his team. I would love to take a moment and to welcome all of the viewers that are watching us via Facebook on a live transmission. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for watching us. In a few minutes, maybe in a second, we will see Sadhguru on the stage. But first, we have to say a few words more. The world is rallying for safe soil. Sadhguru is writing, not for you and me, but for our future generations are with him. Are we with him?
We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions. We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects. But we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy. In most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it, now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by ploughing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching SaveSoil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. We must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
We must make it our life's mission to save our soil.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Message on social channels. Use the hashtag SaveSoil and tag the profile Conscious Planet, please. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the SaveSoil movement seeks to bring about a conscious response to impending soil extinction. We are at the cusp of time where every action it will perform will either have an affirmative or negative impact in the years to come. As occupants of a shared planet, we have the unique opportunity to be part of solutions to crises like soil extinction and desertification. We just have watched a video about all this campaign, about the main idea, and now I would love to attract your attention to the very interesting performance. Envisioned by Sadhguru, Project Samskriti offers classes and performances of Indian classical arts, including music, dances and Kalaripayattu, a martial art form. These intricate arts have been employed for 1,000 years as a spiritual processes. The artists today have invested in these arts from the age of 7, not as a hobby but as a life. Dear Sadhguru, welcome. It's a big honor and it's a big joy and happiness to see you here. Dear Sadhguru, welcome to Azerbaijan once more again. And of course now I feel the energy coming from the first row. I can continue my speech. Dear friends, and I was talking about Samskriti just a few seconds before dear Sadhguru came. Of course, I would love to say that these intricate arts have been employed for 1,000 years as spiritual processes, and of course, we are eager to behold their performance, which will begin now on this stage with an offering by Radhe Jagi, a classical Bharatanatyam dancer.
One with a fierce heart of fire, draped in the rivers and oceans, with hair of open sky and her body the ground beneath our feet. Mother Earth, our source and sustenance. Time is ticking away as we exploit this strong and gentle source of life to build our lives, our comfort, our luxuries. We have ignored her call, her plea. As her children, we suffer the consequences of our actions upon her. Time is ticking away. It's time to reinvigorate and celebrate the mother that has birthed us, fed us, and the one who will embrace us into her bosom in our death. O Mother, in celebration of your grandeur, in concern of your well-being, in love with all that you are to us, we dance in tune with your rhythm as we are only a part of you.
Takita taka demi takita taka demi ta kita din ta kita din kita din ta kita din kita ta kita din ta kita tam kita din kita ta kita din ta kita din na kita din kita ta kita ding ta kita ta din kita din kita ta kita din ta kita din na kita din ta kita ta kita din kita ta kita ta din ta kita ta kita demi ta kita ta kita dina ta demi ta kita ding ta kita ding kita dina kita ding ta kita ding kita dina kita ding ta kita dina kita ding ta kita dina kita ding ta kita ding kita dina kita ding ta kita ding kita ta ta kita din ta kita din kita ta kita ding ta kita din kita din kita ta din ding ta kita ta din ta kita ta ka din ta kita ta kita ding kita dina kita ding ta kita din ta kita din kita ta kita ding ta kita din kita dina ta kita ta kita ta kita dina ta kita ta ta dina ta kita dinga ta kita ta ka dina ta ka dimi ta ka ta kita din kita kita din kita din 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 kita dina din ta kita din dina din 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 kita din kita dina kita din ta kita din kita kita ta kita ta ta kita ta kita ta kita ta kita tam kita ta kita ta kita ta kita ta ka dina ta kita tam tam ta kita tam kita tam kita ta kita tam kita ta kita ta kita tam kita tam kita ta kita tam tam ta ta dina ta kita ta ka dimi ta kita ta ka dimi ta kita ta ka dimi ta kita ka dimi ta kita ta kita din din ta ta ka ta kita ta ta kita din ta din
my feet, your soil. When you rise, you become a tree. Again, you fall as a leaf. Who are you? You come up as a crop. You give me life as food. Whether I am alive or dead, you are the only refuge. Who are you? You come as water. You come as milk. You come as honey. Who are you? If I eat, it is soil. If I breathe, it is soil. If I die, it is soil. Oh, my mother, who are you? Soil. In the root, there is a stalk. In the stalk, there is branch. In the branch, leaves, bud, flower and fruit, all rooted in soil. That is not our making. The soil, the very soul of all life, shall neither perish nor is created, but in a constant turnaround. A tree and a termite hill, the rough hide of an elephant and the fine silk of the spider, the beast that you kill and the people that you love, all a recycle of soil, soil and soil. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
What an enthralling performance. Many thanks to Radhe Jagi and Isha Samskriti. That was really wonderful. And I was watching this amazing magical performance from a backstage and suddenly understood that it's impossible to host this event wearing high heels whenever we have dancers and all the performers on a stage barefoot. I'm standing on a high heels and I don't feel the energy coming from a soil. But I don't know, it's possible for me to take my shoes off. Okay, maybe I'm not so tall. I was 1.60 meters whenever I was born, and it's still keeping the same height. I just want to be sure that everybody see me. Mr. Tural Asadov, take your turn and you will come to the stage. Just be attentive. Dear friends, now it feels much better, really. So comfortable, so cozy. Now, dear friends, today the 29th of April marks the 40th day of Sadhguru's iconic 100-day journey across the world to expedite the awareness of and restore soil health. And 40 days, really, it's a big time and it's almost coming up and so many cities are waiting for Sadhguru's visit. 40 days, it's braving relentless storms and the rain and mountainous terrain, driving ceaselessly with the pizzas, and that has the world watching with bated breath. A long rider at 65, starting from London, crisscrossing through the lanes of Europe, and now he's here in the land of fire, in the land of love and energy, Azerbaijan. Dear friends, we would love to share some moments that the SaveSoil movement with Sadhguru has experienced so far. His tumultuous, happy, funny, so dangerous journey, and how the world is dancing in rhythm, saying SaveSoil. Can we say SaveSoil together? 1, 2, 3. Attention to the screen, please.
It's a great pleasure for me. These beautiful Caribbean nations are going for this first.
This memorandum of understanding that we are signing, it will also bring some technical assistance to the Caribbean region.
This is a historic moment because here is the first step to turn around.
You are probably one of the most famous Indians, and what you're doing today is really important because people like you who have a wonderful following of millions and millions of people, and what you're doing with that is so important with saving the soil.
If you want to say, I love you to your child, you must just say SaveSoil, because it is a more committed way of saying I love you.
It's an extraordinary campaign. It echoes what we in the Commonwealth have been aspiring to do for a number of years.
Next 100 days from 21st of March, we want the whole world to talk about soil.
It is not about the motorcycle, it's not about the journey, it's not about the song, it is about moving people on the planet. Make it happen, huh?
I think if we all contribute, then we have a really strong voice.
There has been so much excitement and everybody is so excited to hear Sadhguru.
SaveSoil!
This is our time on the planet. What we do here is our business. Let's do the right things.
I honestly didn't feel like part of the movement before. Obviously, I'd never met him. Seeing what kind of a following he has and how impactful it is, I really feel like I just joined a global movement.
Graffiti artists supporting this SaveSoil movement, wanting to inspire the youth, and youth being the major population in most parts of the world today, all graffiti artists, to whatever walls that you have, make sure that you use this. One of the most beautiful cities of Europe.
It's our common issue together. It's not for one nation, for one person, but we as people have to unite and to solve this.
This is a celebration of human beings coming together to do what they need to do. Had a wonderful meeting with the Agriculture Minister of Slovenia. Reshimo Pest! All of us have been part of this destruction. The only way is all of us become part of the solution also. Riding on to Italy. Italy is raining heavily tonight. Here in Venice, over 2000 years ago, this eternal city made the mistake of over-farming the region, and the erosions that caused did tremendous damage, and that was also the fall of the city at that time. So, the Romans of today should never make that mistake once again.
And we are very happy that we are aligned in our message.
Young people getting into farming is very good. That's the future of the world. Thank you. Here we are in Geneva.
I think it's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. So I would really like to thank Sadhguru for his leadership.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
This massive fountain in the Lake of Geneva is lit up for SaveSoil today with SaveSoil colors of blue and green. You cannot stop this. The moment is on. It's going to be on till the policies are done. See, when people want it, it definitely will happen. There's no question about it. Tell me, will it happen?
In this cold, slippery road and winds are picking up speed, no matter what the hell, I have to keep going. You think this is a problem? Relentless commitment to what you do. That is the only solution.
We already have one action, which is…
And he expressed that his mission is what we need.
It's fantastic. France has been great. Well, Brussels.
Let's put together and work on a common message for all to save a resource that determines our future. Save the soil.
And then a smashing evening at the main event. And a super enthusiastic crowd committing themselves to make this happen. SaveSoil on the move. Let's make it happen. Just look up the news and see in the last 4 months, how many governments have started talking about soil because they see it's picking up momentum. But if you create 3 to 4 billion people talking about soil, that's it. That will be the main conversation in the government.
I need someone to show me the way. I need someone to show me the way.
The education ministry in Germany has now come into the picture officially and asked all the children to do artwork to support SaveSoil movement. Good, Arjun, wonderful. Congratulations that you wrote to the Prime Minister.
Let's make it happen!
So, on the way to Bratislava, well, the road surface is not great, too many puddles of water, so can't maintain very high speed. It's great that all of you are here in Bratislava. Nobody ever imagined 100 years ago that we will have to save soil of all the things.
Thank you for coming to Slovakia. It's wonderful, and I'm very happy that the video campaign.
Would you like to come in the kitchen and cook with me a little bit?
Why not? Without soil being rich, food won't be rich. Without food being rich, our bodies will not be a full potential. The old heroes always built something which stands up like this, but the new heroes are those people who will nurture the soil which always lies beneath our feet, never stands up. Oh, this wonderful city of Belgrade, the UNFAO said something which really deeply hurt me, is the soil that we are consuming right now belongs not even to these little children, belongs to the unborn child. This is an expression of our love and responsibility for our own lives and the future lives.
I think there is a great potential for a good collaboration, partnership with the campaign Save Soil and what we are doing as a government. We can make it together.
It's very important, bringing a certain sense of love and celebration towards the land that we walk upon. It's just afternoon, but temperatures are around 2 degrees, morning it was below zero. Not a weather for motorcycle for sure. Going from Sofia to Bucharest. Organize yourselves whichever way you want. Form groups, come together somehow and see this happens.
People from Istanbul were really amazed by Sadhguru to appear, and they were just so happy to see him.
This many people, if all of you are committed and you spend 15–20 minutes a day to enhance the message, I think I don't have to go on riding like crazy. Yesterday I rode 18 hours, can you believe this, through Bulgarian roads?
He's been riding through very, rough terrain, rough roads, dusty construction sites.
It was a long drive and we were getting a little late for the live event at Tbilisi.
He, right at the end, maybe 5 minutes before the event, decided that he couldn't stop for a break.
In the traffic, he was just removing his jacket and gloves and throwing in the car just to make it on time.
The whole purpose of this movement is to first to bring this home, that when you walk up on the soil, you know it is the source of your life. Keeping it alive is the most important thing. Will you make it happen?
Dear friends, I know that everybody is eager to see our main hero on the stage, Mr. Sadhguru, but first, of course, I would love to give the floor to our very close friend of Azerbaijan, and he lives in Azerbaijan. He dedicated his whole life for almost several years to Azerbaijan because he represents great country India in Azerbaijan. Please welcome the ambassador of India in Azerbaijan, Mr. Vanlal Bhavna. His Excellency, Mr. Vanlal Bhavna is with us today in this beautiful center. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much. Respected Sadhguruji, Excellencies, distinguished friends, ladies and gentlemen, Harmadlar, Janaplar, Hanumlar, Dostlar, Salam, Namaskaram. Let me begin by thanking the Hyder Aliyev Foundation for this great opportunity for hosting this wonderful program today evening, and for all of us to get together here for a very important cause. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to Sadhguruji and his team to Baku. I know this is not your first time, and I hope it will not be your last either. It is indeed a great honor for me to be standing here in front of you today. Sadhguruji is with us tonight, as we all know, on a very important mission, a mission to save soil, a movement to bring humanity together, calling for action to revitalize the soil and to make this planet, this earth, a better place for all of us who are here and for future generations. To achieve this, as we have seen, Sadhguruji has traveled through various cities across Europe, and of course he's going to cross continent to Asia in a few days from now, and that shows that he's a man of great conviction, and therefore he's somebody who we should all emulate. Friends, in other places also they have said that Sadhguruji does not need any introduction, and I'll also say the same thing tonight. He is somebody who cannot be described in a few lines. Sadhguruji, as we all know, he's a man of multifaceted personality. He's a yogi, he's a mystic, he's an author. But for me, I think he's a great visionary and a man of very, very strong conviction. His numerous works on environmental issues, including Project Greenlands, Rally for Rivers, or Kaveri Calling, have touched millions of lives. Friends, I will end here because I know you have not come here to listen to me, but to listen to the great Sadhguruji. But I'd like to request to all of you who have come here tonight to join this very important movement and be an important partner to take forward Sadhguru's call for urgent action to save soil to the larger audience in Azerbaijan and beyond. Let's make it happen. Thank you so much. Choksa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Dear ladies and gentlemen, time has come and I would love to give the floor to my colleague, first of all. We have with us today Mr. Tural Asadov, Azerbaijani actor, television presenter, voiceover artist and film producer. Apart from his vivacious roles in films, Asadov has hosted the opening and closing ceremonies of the Islamic Solidarity Games in 2017 and the Baku 2015 European Games. In 2019, he hosted the 15th anniversary concert of the Heydar Aliyev Foundation. He commented on Europe League final on May 29th.
Is it all about me, or you're talking about someone else?
Not all, but a few parts, a little part of your life. Please don't stand next to me because you're very tall.
Thank you very much. I can sit here. No, this is Sadhguru's place. I can sit here just to... First of all, thank you very much for inviting me on the stage. I want to welcome all of you here, our dignitaries, our dear Sadhguru, welcome. And I want to remind you my name. It's Tural. It's written like natural, but without an A. Just to remember that. So, we can invite our dear Sadhguru here on stage.
Of course, I would love to do that. Please make a big round of applause for...
Hanımlar ve canablar, Sadhguru'nu alkışlayırıq.
Sadhguru, welcome on stage.
Thanks for taking off the shoes.
I left them there. Thank you very much. Tural, take your time.
Thank you very much. Good evening, dear Sadhguru.
Is it okay if I do a 1-minute chant?
1 minute check?
Chant, chant.
Chant?
Chant.
Okay.
Is it okay or is it all right?
What do you want? What do I have to do?
If I do 1 minute long chant,
okay.
Chant.
Yes, you can.
Okay? In a language that you will not understand, but I can explain if needed.
Please. I'm surprised.
Because so many things have been said to me in Baku that I don't understand.
It's just the beginning of that.
No, it's a language, nothing else. Jananam sukadham maranam karunam milanam maduram smaranam karunam kalavashadiha sakalam karunam samayadipate akilam karunam. Namaskaram and good evening to everyone.
So we can start?
Yes, sir.
What was about it?
What was the chant about?
You said that you will translate.
Yes. Well, life is a combination of just two things. A certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. When it comes to time, as we sit here, time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. How we experience time may be different from person to person. It all depends on a certain day. If you're… Can we light up the people also? Can I see them? Hello? Whoever manages this.
Zəhmət olmasa işıqları yandıraq zalda ümumiyyətlə xahiş elədi çox hörmətli Sadhguru.
Just do that.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to say the words that you say, to translate the words you say.
So, our life is a combination of time and energy. Time is rolling away. There's nothing you can do about it. It's rolling away for all of us. Experience of time may be different from person to person. On a given day, if you're very joyful, you find 24 hours, poof, it's gone. But another day you're a little unhappy or you're miserable or you're depressed, then one day passes like a year or 10 years or maybe a eon it depends how depressed you are. So only miserable people can really live a long life. If you're very exuberant and joyful, it just gets over before you know what the hell is happening.
So, what do we have to do?
So the only other thing
Suffer?
No, the only other thing you can manage is your energies. You cannot manage time because it rolls away. As you sit here, in the last 45 minutes that you're sitting here, all of us are 45 minutes closer to our grave. We are. If we know it's not the clock that is ticking, it is the life that's ticking away. If you're conscious of it, then we will see how to enhance this life because it's so limited and so brief. So the next thing is the energy that you can manage. Depending upon how intensely you manage your energy, accordingly your life and the quality of it in terms of pleasantness of life, profoundness of life and the impactfulness of your life is determined by this. If you do not manage this consciously, best, or even unconsciously, if you do not manage this somehow, then you will see life will be very long in your experience, but actually it's the same time. So, this process of managing life and time, time and energy, is the whole science of yoga, how to manage time and energy in such a way that the best can happen to you and to everybody else around you. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Thank you very much for this explanation. So, I would like to come back to your movement, to your journey. 30,000 kilometers and a lot of countries.
Don't take away 10, that'll change everything.
Yes. I can put one more.
No, don't do that.
So,
that'll kill me also.
And you traveled, this is your second visit to Azerbaijan, but this time you traveled from west to east and you had an opportunity to see the soil of Azerbaijan. What do you think about it, about the soil here in Azerbaijan?
Well, after we entered the southern border, there were two borders from when we come from Tbilisi. So we entered through the southern border. The first part of it is a lot to be done there because it's very dusty and if you don't manage that well, there's not enough vegetation there. If you don't bring back vegetation, well, one thing we need to understand is because Azerbaijan is very much in the same wind tunnel from northern Africa to Bulgaria, Turkey, to some extent Georgia, but more. Azerbaijan is in the same wind tunnel. I'm just saying one aspect of it because I think the people of Baku will be interested in this because I'm sure at certain times of the year you face winds which don't let you breathe, almost snatching away your breath, like that it blows, because this is coming from northern plains of Africa. You're a little far away for this, but still it could happen, is, see if the temperatures on the planet go up by, let's say, 2 degrees. Everybody's talking about 1.5 degrees, nobody has a control, it's not a switch that you can control. If it goes up by 2 degrees, approximately the wind speeds around the world will go up by somewhere between 25 to 30 kilometers per hour. If right now, let us say, winds are blowing at 100 kilometers per hour in the northern plains of Africa, which it does, or actually it does much more. For example, if it's going at 100 kilometers per hour, if the temperatures rise, the same wind will be moving at 130 kilometers per hour. So it will be 30 kilometers extra. 30 kilometers extra after 100 kilometers is capable of lifting up millions of tons of sand and particles. And it has to land somewhere. You will hope that it lands in Bulgaria, but but if the wind speeds increase further, it could come right up till here. That means, this happened in America. There was something called as a dust bowl in 1930s where the President of the United States couldn't believe this, he traveled all the way to see what's happening. Millions of tons of dust gathered in New York City to a point buildings were all covered, millions of tons. But they were only measuring millions of tons because it stopped in New York City. Nobody measured how much went into the Atlantic Ocean, all right? If millions of tons stopped here, many, many more millions of tons would have landed in Atlantic, that means it lost. So today we are measuring it in United States and saying 30% of the America's topsoil is simply gone, gone. Not degenerated, it's just gone, because you handle the prairies or the grasslands in a certain way. So in a way, that part, I do not know what is the extent of that land. First 60 to 100 kilometers of the land that we travel from the border is that kind of potential, it's dusty land. If you don't root it with lots of vegetation, one thing is you lose that soil in the winds, that's one thing. Another thing is, we don't know, sand could come and land. What is a fertile field today could become a desert tomorrow morning simply because 10 million tons of sand came and landed there. I'm not saying it's just going to happen like that. It's a possibility. Because we need to understand, today if I say Saudi Arabia, you will think, oh, harsh desert. I'm riding there in summer month now. In another 10 days, I'm riding through Saudi desert. But over 8 to 10,000 years ago, it was a rich rainforest. Can you believe that? And it was. So all of us must be alert to this.
And you decided to save soil. First of all, you woke up in the morning and you thought that I have to save the soil?
No.
What happened? How you came to this movement?
No, I didn't wake up. When I was born, I came from the soil, you know. People don't… we come from our mothers, but our mothers' bodies also came from the soil. The food that we've eaten is the soil that we woke upon. Last 30 years I've been talking about soil, but people always have fancy words, Sadhguru, what you're doing is fantastic, it's really great work, Sadhguru, fantastic, and go to sleep. Okay? I have spoken to ministers, I have spoken to scientists, I have spoken to ordinary people, we've started various movements. And we started various movements, Project Green Hands, which she was talking about, and you spoke about, and also Rally for Rivers, all these things. So, a journalist was asking me the other day, Sadhguru, some time ago you were talking about trees, then you were talking about rivers, now you're talking about soil. You're always changing the subject. I said, oh, this is like, it once happened. Shankaran Pillai was in the Baku, Azerbaijan University, an Indian boy. There are some Indian boys here, so I'm telling. And he one day cornered the college beauty and told her, see, I love you and I love you and I love you. The girl stopped and said, will you marry me? He said, come on, don't change the subject. This is just like this. When I was talking about trees, was I talking about planting trees upon your head or my head? I was talking about the soil. When I was talking about tropical rivers, am I talking about soil? Yes, it is upon soil that the water flows, because we must know that in European countries, most of the rivers come from melting ice. But tropical nations, the waters are coming only from the soil. The only source of water is the monsoon rain. It rains for 70 to 90 days, but rivers flow for 365 days because it is in the strength of the soil, how much water it can hold will determine whether the river flows for 365 days or not. So we were only talking about soil all the time, but they think I'm changing the subject.
You are changing the subject. So, and for the moment, today is your 40 days of your journey, of your movement. How many people joined you? And is it easy just to join to this movement?
Oh yes. You don't
What do I have to do for that?
See, I don't want you to join the movement. I want you to become the movement, because it's you, it's the people who can do it. Now we have created a certain opportunity, you can become an earth buddy. What it means is every day you're dedicating 10-15 minutes of your time, only 10-15 minutes of your time to enhance the message. Do you have to enhance me? No. You talk about soil in your own language, whichever way you want. You need information? Well, there are UN websites like FAO website, World Food Program and various others who have enormous amount of information, but they're all little very scientific and technical that everybody may not be able to glean through that information. It's correct, but it's a little complicated the way it's put. So in a very simple way, it is there on the SaveSoil.org website. You can take that and make it yours. You don't have to recognize me, you don't have to talk about me, because this is about we as a generation of people. What I realized in the last 2 years, I've been meeting so many agricultural ministries and scientists and responsible bureaucrats in various places, politicians, heads of state. Almost everybody knows what is the problem. And generally almost everybody knows what is the nature of the solution needed. But everybody has been waiting. And I looked at it, what is it that they're waiting? They were just waiting for an idiot to bell the cat, so here I am. Yes, everybody thinks somebody else should do it. I just want to tell you, there is nobody else, there's just us. We are the problem and we can be the solution. There is simply nobody else here, just us, people.
What will happen if we will not save soil? I mean, what is the worst scenario if nobody will act, if nobody will join this message, nobody will spread this message? How much time do we have?
I don't like to talk about that because I want to make sure people act. You're talking about…
You have to say about the worst
essentially,
scenario.
essentially you're talking about if I fail. No, I'm not that kind.
No, I want just people to know the worst scenario. Okay. What will happen if they will not…
The worst scenarios have already been described by World Food Program, FAO and IUCN has spoken elaborately. The worst scenario is this: by 2032, 3.5 billion people will have trouble finding their daily drinking water. And because of this, 1.2 billion people will be migrating on the planet, okay? When people migrate, if deaths happen, media will report. Nobody reports the suffering. You cannot report the suffering, what human beings go through. Especially when there is forced, unplanned migration, the maximum suffering happens to women and children. Worst kind of suffering, worst kind of exploitation happen to women and children. And we have seen this happening repeatedly, and once again we're driving straight into it. 2032 is not a lifetime away. 10 years, it'll just come like that, okay? Before you do the next third football match, it'll be there. So, 1.2 billion people could be moving because of food and water stress. By 2035, your World Food Program is saying there could be dozens of civil wars. Of the 50 wars, of the 30 wars fought in the last 50 years in Africa, 27 of them were fought for the sake of fertile soil already. And of the 260,000 people who died in Sudan of famine and stuff, not war, the famine, 50% were children below 6 years of age. What are we doing to this world? Children, see, you must understand, if a bomb falls here, all of us will die, boop, it's over. But if there is a famine, it is a 3 to 4 month fade, slowly. It is the most painful way to die. And children, 50% of the people who died were below 6 years of age. Why do we bring people into this world and make them suffer like this? What is the point? What is our sense? Yesterday, day before when I was in Tbilisi, one journalist is asking me, Sadhguru, here nobody is worried about the future. We are only concerned about our jobs, about the gas price, about the bread price. I said, that's wonderful. If you're not worried about the future, do one damn thing, don't produce any more children, enough. If you want to produce children, If you want to have children, it's your business to be concerned about the future, otherwise don't bloody do it.
In the video, I saw the message. You said that instead of saying your children, I love you, just save the soil. This is the same meaning, right? So, what the next step that we have?
You want more horrendous facts? By 2045, there'll be 40% less food on the planet, and our populations will be over 9.2 billion people. Is it a world you want to live in? Is it a world where we want to leave our children and go? Because I want you to just imagine, let's say in Baku city, 40% of the people have no food for next 3 days. You think they will just sit there and die? They'll pull down the whole nation. Your civilization, which might have taken 1,000 years to build, will be gone in 3 days' time. Your very humanity will evaporate in 3 days' time, believe me. Let us not drive ourselves one way once again, because in the past we have seen famines. In India in 1942, the famine, which was caused for various reasons, it took 3.2 billion people, million people, I'm so sorry, 3.2 million people, in 4 months' time they slowly died. When famines have happened, people have done terrible things to themselves and to others because not able to bear the hunger. There have been many instances around the world where people have chopped the limbs of their own children and eaten it. Do we want to drive the humanity there once again with so much technology, with so much infrastructure, with so much capability that we have today? Do we want to go back to that place once again? Should any human being at all should go there? It's not about my country versus your country business. When it comes to soil, when it comes to ecology, when it comes to life, there is no such thing as nationality, race, religion, gender. None of these things matter, because this is fundamental to all of us.
Now we're talking about the danger, about the death, about everything that will happen if we will not save soil. What exact steps should we take? I mean, by myself, tomorrow in the morning, what do I have to do except spreading the message?
That's all you must do right now, because otherwise what you will do is you'll roll up your sleeves and fix your kitchen garden. Very cute of you, but it's not a solution. Because most people's garden is just one flower pot. They're going to put their vegetable compost there and say, I did it. That's not the way, because that time is gone. I'll fix my kitchen garden, that time is past. We've come to a place, if we don't seriously act, and when I say seriously act, serious action cannot happen without enshrining it in the policy. When I say enshrining it in the policy, see, if you go to the old part of Baku, I've been there, this is true with every city in the world. If you go to the old part, there are homes there where there is no concept of a window, because wall to wall people have built houses. Why did this happen? Because there were no urban laws. People built whichever way, like this, like that they built. Go to the new part of the city, here there are laws. If you have 10,000 square feet of land, you cannot build 10,000 square feet building. There is some law, 6,000, 7,000, whatever, some space for yourself, your neighbor, all this is a must. If you build more than what you should build, I'm sure the authorities will come and demolish it. But if you have 100 acres of land, you can plow every inch of it, turn it into a desert in the next 10 years' time. Nobody will ask you, why have you done this, anywhere in the world, because there are no laws for rural lands. So I'm saying for agricultural land, as there is law for urban lands, there needs to be a law, because soil is not our property. It is a legacy that's come to us from previous generations. We must pass it on as living soil for future generations. Most important thing is, first of all, to understand soil is a living entity. I've been talking to various agriculture ministries around the world. What I see is in most countries, when I say most, I'm talking about 85 to 90% of the nations in the world are still addressing the soil as an inert substance. It's an inert substance which is a resource, which we can fix by adding a chemical or removing a chemical. Soil is the greatest, the largest and the most fantastic living system, not just on this planet, in the known universe. Nowhere else there is such a thing. This is a place where if you sow death, life will happen out of it. Tell me, where is there a place where zillions of lives are living and they manufacture all this life? I want everybody to understand, whether it is a worm or an insect or a butterfly or a tree or a bird or a man or a woman or any other animal that you see, everything has come from soil. When I say soil, it's just first 15 to 18 inches of soil. This magic is doing everything on the land.
It's about 1 meter, right?
Not even a meter. 1 meter is 3.23 feet or something like that. This is much less than that, 18 inches, just this much.
18, okay.
Yes, a foot and a half.
So,
but half a meter.
Yes, half a meter. But to save the soil,
What do we have to do? All right? Please, complete the question, I'm so sorry.
No. Can we equal this mission, Save Soil, with the salvation of our spirit? I mean, spiritually, how it feeds us? Except, future.
Shall I come to the spiritual thing a little later? I'm not dodging it, I'm coming to that. But the physical aspect of it.
Okay.
See, we're in a cusp of time. This is the significance of the being in this generation. Right now, on an average, the loss of biodiversity or the loss of species of organisms on the planet per year is 27,000. Yes, you heard it right. 27,000 species are being lost per year. At this rate, in 25 to 30 years, we will reach a point where even if we want to revive the soil, it's going to be extremely difficult. In 40 to 45 years, it'll become impossible. This is where we are. This is why the need to act right now is so important. About, I fix my land, you fix your land, you keep your land really wonderful, I kept it wonderful. Where is the guarantee next generation will keep it the same way? That's what has happened right now, isn't it? So if it has to be maintained that way, it must be in the policy that if you hold agricultural land, minimum of 3 to 6% organic content has to be there. For this, incentive-based policies are needed. If you're interested, we can go into that later. But right now about the spiritual aspect of it, see, for most human beings, spirituality means hot air in their head. All kinds of weird things. They will see in the dark corners, they will see spirits floating around, this happening. If they watch a horror movie, they will see all over the place. If they read one book, they will imagine all kinds of things. Leave this. Let me put this into proper technical definition of what is spiritual. See, you have a body, this is physical of you, right? You have thoughts and emotions, this is mental and psychological aspect. These are two aspects. Both these things you gathered over a period of time. When you were born, you were only this much. Slowly, what is your favorite food? Sturgeon, is it?
Favorite food?
No. In Azerbaijan, tell me, everybody's favorite. Is it a lot of baklava? What is it?
Dolma, baklava, whatever.
All those things.
All those things.
As you eat, the body grew. The food that you eat has come from the land that you walk upon. So what you call as my body is actually soil that you're carrying, and it's not yours. You have borrowed it from the planet. When time comes, you have to put it back whether you like it or not. Yes, everybody, I'm just saying. So the question is only this, will we get this point now or will we get it when we're buried? This is the only question. So if you understand, the body that I carry, which I think is me right now, is actually not me, it is just soil that I have gathered. It's mine. For now it is mine. Till I'm buried, this is mine.
Just like for the rent?
Yes, no rent, that's the whole thing, it's free. Don't gather too much because it's free. So, for now this is me. But what I call as my mind is layers and layers of impressions that I've gathered from what I see, what I hear, what I smell, what I taste, what I touch. Information I gathered through five senses has become so many complex things in my mind. I can mix it in permutations and combinations and make myself look like a unique human being. But most human beings have similar kind of information, but they are mixing it in their own way and becoming something else, all right? But fundamentally, all information that you got into your brain and into your mind has come through the five senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching. This is how information has come. So these are two things you gathered. What you call as my mind, you gathered. What you call as my body, you gathered. Right now, as I'm speaking, I will pick up this vessel and say, this is my vessel. Now they'll all think, oh, Sadhguru seems to have some problem. But let's listen some more. Some people decided to leave, but others think, let us listen some more. But after some time I'll say, this is me. Then they'll all say, let's go. Hello? Hey, what's happening? You're so serious, huh? Now, if I say I'm this vessel, you know I'm a case. You're doing this every day. Food appears on your plate, you say, this is my food, you eat it, then you say, this is me. Same problem. The moment what is yours you think is you, there is a serious problem. This problem, if you solve, then you say you're spiritual. How do you solve it? Well, if you have to gather so much body and gather so much mind, there must be something more fundamental to that, yes? Now immediately people say, oh, there is a soul, there is a spirit. These are all stories that you have heard. If you come to India, we have at least 24 words to describe these things, okay? The longer the civilizations have existed, more stories will develop. But you are only improving your vocabulary, it doesn't change you in any way. But if I give you a simple method with which if you sit here now, you can clearly feel and experience your body is sitting here, your mind is here. What is you is a little away from these two things. If this becomes a living reality, this is called as spiritual. Now, how is soil spiritual? Soil is very spiritual because if you realize, not intellectually, experientially, say right now you're holding a microphone, without that nobody will hear you, all right? So, it is a part of you in some way, because your speech is heard there only because of that. So if you go little deeper, because you have a mouth cavity and a tongue and everything, sound is coming. You have a vocal cord, so sound is coming. What is the big difference between your vocal cord and your microphone? Both are actually giving you a voice. If you spoke with your vocal cords, only the first 2 rows would hear, now everybody is hearing. So it is in many ways a part of you right now. But right now if it gets stuck to you and you can't keep it down, then you have a problem, isn't it?
That's interesting.
See, you used it just now.
Yes, that's why I used it.
So how soil is spiritual is this, that if you begin to experience your body for what it is, I must tell you, this whole project Green Hands, as we called it at that time, when I saw that desertification was happening in southern India, and if you speak to people, they're looking at you like you're crazy, where is a desert in South India? Come on, Sadhguru, have you lost it? Kind of thing. Every scientist is telling you, in another 25 years you're going there. And it's clearly visible. Perennial rivers have gone dry, bore wells have been sunk from 200 feet where we were getting very good water, now you've got 1100 feet and still not getting water. Crowns of the palm trees are falling down. It is happening, but people don't see it as long as water is coming in their tap. Municipality is supplying water to their homes, so they think everything is fine. So when I tried to talk to them, they didn't get it. So I did one simple process with thousands of people. I made them sit outside and made them breathe in a certain way and made them experience. See, what you exhale, the tree is inhaling. What the tree exhales, you are inhaling. Once they got it, one part of our lungs is hanging out there. Oh, now you can't stop them from planting trees. 67 million living trees they've planted in the last 17 years or so.
Great. And I have information about the planting tree here in Azerbaijan. Tomorrow you'll do this with the…
Only one.
Only one? Why? Need more. We need more. Okay, so this is the process with the Minister of Agriculture of Azerbaijan and with you, and you will sign the MUA, right? MOU. Yeah. What's about it?
See, this is a way that we know the government is committed to enhancing its soil quality. Once it's committed, we have, as I said, we've already made a handbook of this for 192 different nations as to how it can be done. Based on the latitudinal position of a given country, its soil types, its economic conditions and its agricultural traditions, we have formed 192 policy documents. They are not policy per se, they're handbooks as to how policy can be made, because it's the prerogative of a sovereign nation to make their own policy. But a simple handbook, it's taken us over 2 years with top scientists working on this as to how this should be done. There are hundreds of ways of doing it. It is the choice of the farmers and the government to do it. One simple thing is this. See, right now, Azerbaijan exactly I do not know, but in this region generally, your organic content will not be more than 1.2 to 1.25%. On an average, I'm saying, in some places it may be more, in some places it may be less. If the government offers an incentive to the farmer, all the farmers who raise their organic content to 3%, we will give you a certain incentive. If the incentive is attractive enough, most farmers will go for it. How to raise it? For this there are many methods which is technical, which we can give it to the farmer. The government can give it as an advisory, these are all the many ways to do it. Traditionally all farmers always knew it, they forgot in the last 40–50 years. Otherwise everybody always knew how to regenerate, otherwise for so many generations you wouldn't have managed food, all right? So people knew, it just has to be brought back, a little more science to it, little more technology to it so that it happens quickly. This will not cost any great amount of money, nor does it need any great new technology. If technologies are used, things will happen a little more quickly, but it doesn't matter. If we start the process, in most countries, we can get to 3% within 6 to 8 years, very easily, without too much expense. If you want to get there in 2 years' time, then there is some expense, there is a certain amount of budget. So countries can choose, they can choose this district will go aggressively, this district will go slowly, depending on the productivity of that region. That is a call that each government has to take, that's not for me to tell them. But how to do it? It has to be incentive-based, otherwise it'll not work. Maybe in another 25–30 years' time, it'll become punitive. It has to become at some point if people don't respond. But they will respond to economic benefit, they will respond. So, this can be brought about in every nation, it has to be. I'm speaking at the COP15 now in Ivory Coast in the next few days, and here 197 nations, including Azerbaijan, is participating. Here the main theme this year in this convention is soil. Soil is the theme. So, we will change the narrative on the planet. Till now, everybody's been talking about carbon dioxide in the air, carbon particles, what should be done. I'm not saying that's not a problem, that is also a serious issue. But suppose in my body, my ankle is hurting because it's broken or sprained, my eyes are hurting because too much riding, or my throat is paining, so I got an orthopedic coming here, I have an ophthalmologist, I have an ENT specialist, all waiting to attend to me. But then I discovered I have a serious cancer. Tell me which should be attended to first? Keeping you alive is more important. First stay alive, then fix the ankle, fix the eyes, fix the throat, everything. Right now, this is exactly the situation. If the soil dies down, and all your fancy talk about environment will mean nothing, I'm not saying that's not important, I'm not saying that cannot be done in parallel, it can be. But this has to be attended to on an express, with a very express significance to it. Otherwise, we would have failed because 20–25 years if we spend without doing anything, then turning it around will become a very serious challenge.
So, for the moment, don't you mind if audience will ask questions?
Not at all.
No?
Just tell them not to ask me difficult questions.
You don't want difficult questions?
No, ask them not to ask me very difficult questions.
Çətin olmayan suallarınızı Sadhguru'ya verə bilərsiniz, hörmətli qonaqlar. Bizim…
The most difficult question will be if you ask it in Azerbaijani.
I'll try to translate in Russian. Bizim həmkarlarımız sizə mikrofon uzadacaqlar. Sualınız varsa əlinizi qaldıra bilərsiniz, yaxınlaşa bilərsiniz və çox hörmətli Sadhguru'ya sualınızı ünvanlaya bilərsiniz.
I would like to ask, meaning the soul is important, I do understand, but overall in the world the situation is kind of struggling, everything. Do you think people will think about soul looking at the things that are going on around? Like for me personally, it was a wake-up, I do understand, it has like so much meaning, is important. But from all the things that happened till now, this like, oh my God.
Happened where? I'm sorry, I didn't get that question.
Like coronavirus, the wars that happens, the economical issues.
See, I got it. See, coronavirus unfortunately took over 6 million lives in the world. But I want you to understand, every year the number of lives that die, number of human beings that die because of hunger situation is many, many more than that. Number of children who die of malnourishment is many, many-fold more than that. Number of children who are blinded because of that is many, many more. Number of children who are disabled by hunger are many, many more. Number of children who don't grow up to become full-sized adults is humongously more. All this is because of weakness in the soil. Soil has become so weak. So let us not complain about small things. When I say small things, it's unfortunate 6 million people lost their lives, yes, but we are all alive. All that could have changed in our lives. I'm not saying this from a position of comfort. We are running a foundation where we have so many responsibilities. 2 years we are sitting without any revenue, all right? I have over 12–15,000 children to educate, over 5 million farmers to take care of, over 5,600 people living in the center, but no revenue for 2 years. When the coronavirus started itself, even before economic impact happened, first thing I said is, look at the menu, cut it down to something very simple and nutritious, no fancy eating anymore. That's the first step we took. So I'm saying even the way we eat, we changed. Everything we changed. So only thing that changed in our life is lifestyle. Don't crib about lifestyle. You're having the best lifestyle ever in the history of humanity as a generation. Hello? Yes or no? Especially women, I'm telling you. No generation ever had these kind of comforts and conveniences ever. Especially for women, I'm telling you, it has never been this good for you ever in the history of humanity. Am I correct? So, do not go on making up things in your mind. All that's happened is, maybe you couldn't buy a new model car, maybe you couldn't have your house painted, maybe you had to move into a smaller house. It's okay, we are alive. That's all that matters. We are alive, and if you're joyful, lifestyle, does it matter? She was on high heels, she came barefoot. What's the big deal? You could walk barefoot on the streets. What is the big deal, I'm asking you? So I'm on 2 wheels, hello, at 65, real reduction in my lifestyle. So I'm saying, Do not complain about small things and miss the big point, big picture. The big picture is this: we have lived in such a way that we are making sure future generations will have no possibility to live well. I'm asking you, your children or their children, whether you have children or not, just think whosever children they are. Just imagine a world where there is 40% less food and population has risen by another billion people, which is anyway inevitably happening, all right? Just imagine that world. Do you want to put them… and how far is it? How far is 2045? Hello? How far is 2045? Before you get grey hair, you will be there. I just have to die 10 years early and I'm done, you know. This is not about me, this is not about you. We have a certain responsibility for future generations. This is intrinsic to you as a human being. This you do not know because of morality, because of religion, because of philosophy. Intrinsically as a human being, you always want your children to live better than you. Yes or no? But we are failing in that. We are taking away the foundations of their life and putting them there. This is what it means. Do not… because if you go out there, everything is green in Baku, do not go by this. Just look it up. Don't go by my words either. Just look it up in the world. Just look at the Google map. Just look at the Google map from 2003 to 2022. I'm telling you, in 25 years, in just 25 years, Earth has lost 10% of the land to desertification. It's become desert, 10% in 25 years. Where are we going?
Thank you very much for your answer. Any other question? Başka bir sual varsa?
Excuse me. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Sadhguru. My name is Ainura. I'm from Uzbekistan.
Okay.
Here.
Welcome.
And here's my auntie called Leila. She's living here. And actually, it's not about the question, but about changing some energy and having kind of support. Well, she had been following you for more than 5 years and practicing all your lessons and always inspired nothing just to meet you, and today it's happened. And she believes that accident not accidental because even today this meeting happened in Baku when she's in grief. Her son Kamran, 21 years old boy, bike lover, had a crash. And he is in coma for 1 week. His situation not getting better or worse. And she believes that there must be a reason. And despite the fact that she's ready to accept any situation which will happen, because all of us will leave this world, she wonders if there any chance you could support her son and other people there with your energy. Maybe just by visiting this hospital named Simashka, even just for a second.
We will address this sensitive issue privately after this meeting is over, but about… I'm not talking about… I'm not talking about your son per se. That aspect, we will see that privately. But I want you to understand, every one of you, this is the nature of life. One wrong step, the price of that could be life or limb or something else. This is the nature of life. This is why this SaveSoil movement is under the banner of Conscious Planet. Because this is the most important thing of all the human things we can do is that we become conscious. What does being conscious mean? See, for every other creature, nature has set 2 lines within which they live and die. It's only for the human being that the top line is gone, and this is what most human beings are suffering. Most human beings are suffering this because now they don't know how to be. If they were born as an earthworm, they would know what to do and they would be eco-friendly also. Now they've come as human beings, they don't know what to do with themselves. It's only the human being who's confused about it because it is only for you that the top line has been erased. So we're always trying to draw lines for ourselves to somehow make ourselves comfortable. We build bondages, we build sense of, some kind of boundary because living in this boundless space seems to be terrifying. So one of the things that we do to enhance our sense of freedom, our sense of… when we say… generally when we say freedom, we always say like a bird in the sky. So right from my childhood, I was so fascinated with birds in the sky. I would go lie down on the terrace of my house when I was 6, 7 years of age and just go on looking at these eagles just flying around, floating. I watched every feather, how they move, what they do. I was thinking I'm going to learn flying and I'm going to go away. And one day I realized I'm just looking at them with such fascination, but they are all the time looking down, looking for a rat or a snake or something else to eat. For the eagle up there, it's just like you going to office. Hello? Yes, for the pilot, it's just like going to office, isn't it? So at the age of 17, I built my own flying machine, which was a hang glider, and tried to fly. I did fly for about 22 or 23 seconds. Then I crashed and broke both my ankles. Well, I managed to fly later that's a different thing. Why I'm saying this is, as a young man, he wants to break his limits, whether through flying or motorcycling or whatever. Unfortunately, the outside world is not entirely in our control, not entirely in our control at all. So, one mistake, I've been telling my people are talking around me, Sadhguru, when we go to India, where will we go? This city, that city, we'll do this, we'll do that. I said, we've not gone to India yet. Because one mistake, I'm not going to India. The speeds at which we are riding, trying to get from one city to another, one mistake, there'll be no India, there'll be no life, all right? So don't take things for granted. There is no such thing as you will go to India. We want to go to India, that's a different matter. But there is no guarantee for anybody. Sadhguru, you are a mystic. Yes, that's why I'm telling you, because a mystic is someone who lives absolutely with reality without any fancy ideas in his head. So, this is the nature of life. I know it sounds cruel to one person because of what's happened to the family now, but I'm saying for every one of us, this is the reality. One moment, it can do something else to you. So this is not just on the road, it can be your life, it can be your thought, it can be your emotion. Accidents can happen in your mind, not just on the street. So, somebody, from India comments and says, on my helmet it's written Sadhguru and O+. So what is that O+? Damn it, it's my blood group, huh? In case I break up into pieces, I want people to know what's my blood group so that they may do the right thing at the right time. So I'm saying, let us understand this. Yes, everybody wants to break limits, everybody should strive to break limitations. Physically, mentally, spiritually, we must break limitations, otherwise what's the point of being human? But at the same time, we must understand that this is all it takes. One simple mistake, that's it. One moment of unawareness. It can cost life, it can cost limb, it can cost life in so many different ways. So, knowing this fully well, still you step out and do the things that you have to do, that is when it is called an adventure. If you don't know the risk and do stupid things, that's not called adventure, that is called as stupidity. Yes, it's very important that you're adventurous in your life. Hope the boy recovers, we'll see what we can do for him. But it's very important you do adventurous things. But the line between adventure and being idiotic is so thin. you never cross that line.
Be careful. Thank you very much for this answer. Do we have question? Bizim sualımız var. Var buyurun. Yadımdadır, size de kaydedecek, yadımdadır, gördüm. Buyurun.
Hello, Sadhguru.
Where are you?
Thank you very much for the permission to see you in front of myself. And just little ask, I need your signature and pray for me and for my 4-year-old girl. And that's all. About the questions, I every day watching your videos on YouTube, I find all answers for my questions. So I live with you. I meditate. Yeah, there is no day without you, Sadhguru. Thank you. And please, your signature. Thank you.
But who told you I can write? Do I look like that?
Zəhmət olmasa burada bizim qonağımız əlini qaldırıb, right over here, we have a guest, right over here, please.
He's trying to be gender neutral because women have just
yes,
taken the
we have
microphone.
3 women and just
at least
men.
one man.
Buyurun.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Sadhguru.
Good evening.
I have 2 questions. The first one is, how do you feel tonight here in Baku?
Tell the second question also.
And the second one, I don't know, maybe it's a bit more complicated, but we hear about the nature, the environment, and it is made sound as if it is a problem of the nature, but actually it's a problem of the human race, of humans. So all these are important, saving the soil, the air, the rivers, but how can we change human beings? How can we change ourselves?
Okay.
Because if we fix this problem, the other ones will be fixed by itself, because the root cause to all this is human behavior.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll answer the second question first because the other one will anyway come. See, there was a potato farmer. You know potato farmer, you grow potatoes in Azerbaijan? Yes. One day he wanted to eat apples. He went to the right tree, the apple tree. But out of sheer habit, looking for apples, he started digging the ground because he's a potato farmer. When he found no apples, he became furious and he dug furiously. Then the tree came down upon him. This is the case of the human society right now. All this has been done, this damage to the soil or air or water, whatever else has happened, not because of some evil design. There's nobody sitting there and thinking, how shall I destroy the planet? There is no such evil design. It is all in pursuit of human happiness and well-being. In pursuit of human happiness, we've done all this. In the last 100 years, we've done so much that human beings had not done in 10,000 years, we have done in the last 100 years. If you were here 100 years ago and today if you came back again, you wouldn't recognize the planet, it doesn't look the same anymore. It looks like you knew a friend with a full crop of hair and you met him after 30 years and he's totally bald. That's how the planet looks today, mostly bald. Because 70% of the land is plowed, 4.2% of the land is paved, urban land and agricultural land. So 76+ % of land is bare, so it's like a man who's gone bald. But it's too early to go bald, that is the problem. It's not time to go bald. Yes. So, about this, how did this happen is just this. Sir, you know, and everybody knows, but everybody forgets, is if you experienced any pain, it happened within you. yes? Any pleasure, it happened within you. Joy, it happened within you. Misery happened within you. Love happened within you. Hate happened within you. Agony and ecstasy also happened within you. Whatever damn thing that ever happened to you always happened within you. Yes or no? Right now, do you see me? Hello? Even if you're not listening, I'm asking, do you see me? Use your hands and point out where I am. Ah, you got it wrong. You know I'm a mystic from southern India, that's not simple. So, right now these lights are falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in the retina, you know the whole story. Where do you see me? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. But when whole life's experience is manufactured from within you, you're trying to squeeze joy and pleasure from the world. So it doesn't matter, for 8 billion people, if you give 8 billion planets, they will destroy it because they are potato farmers looking for apples in the wrong direction. If people do not learn how to sit here joyfully by themselves, then destruction is inevitable. You can control them with laws, you can do this and that, control their aspirations, put all kinds of restrictions, but this is all temporary. For some years, hoping that they will become conscious and sensible, we can give a little bit of time, but it's not a solution. It is not a solution. The only solution is when human beings become conscious how this one functions. This can sit here and be blissed out by itself. Can I tell you my problem also? Sir, yourself, can I tell you my problems? Thank you for the permission. This happened when I was 25 years of age. And one day I just sat down. I just sat like that and I realized I am bursting with bliss. Every cell in my body is dripping ecstasy. Then I think maybe I'm losing my mind. I'm super skeptical. Then I experiment with this a few weeks, then I realize if I just create a little distance between me and my mind, between me and my body, that's it. I am just dripping bliss. Then I thought, this is so simple, all you have to do is just sit here and you'll be blissful. Who in the world wouldn't want it? So I sat down and made a plan, this is it. I have found a way to make every human being blissful, and I made a plan. On that day, the world's population was 5.6 billion people. I made a plan, in 2.5 years' time, I'm going to make the whole world blissful. Here I am 40 years, 2022 is 40 years now. People say we have touched over 2 billion people today, but 2 billion is not my idea of humanity. It's gone to 8 billion, 5.6 billion. So I'm saying, I'm condemned to be a failure in my life, for sure, because population keeps growing and so many people are committed to their misery, they are not going to give it up. 2 billion people think is success. If you get 25% marks in your school, do you call it success? Hello? 25%? 25 out of 100 is success? It's a failure. So that's all. 2 billion out of 8 billion is a failure, all right? So I will die as a failure for sure, but as a blissful failure. Because nobody else can decide whether I am blissful or not. Now, why is it so complicated for people to just be at ease, at peace, at joy? Why is it so difficult? Because even when you're 5 years of age, you're bouncing with joy. Somebody had to make you unhappy, isn't it? Today somebody has to make you happy. So complicated to make you happy. Yes or no? When you are 5 years of age, if you're so joyful, by the time you're 30, you should have been ecstatic. But just the reverse has happened. This is simply because you're misunderstanding your psychological process as existential, that's all. This happened one day. You're all so serious. Hello? So one day it happened, a lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there and staring at her. Then he started coming closer and closer and closer and closer. He came so close, she could even feel his breath. And she trembled, not in fear. And then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream." So, what is happening in your mind is your dream. If you cannot even manage your dream the way you want it, how will you do life? So right now, most people's misery is just that they're not able to manage their dream. Their psychological drama, their thinking is for real. It's your making. You're the director of this drama. You're a bad director, that's all there is. Hello? Your drama is not going your way means what? You're a bad director. If you fix this one thing, if you're joyful by your own nature, just see, on any given day, many days you have been joyful. On the day when you are very joyful, there is no compulsiveness about anything. You will do what is needed. That's all that needs to happen. Right now, human activity is in a compulsive mode. It has to become conscious. That is only possible if you are peaceful and joyful by your own nature. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. So, dear Sadhguru, I've got a sign that this is the last question for the moment, so…
Yes, sir.
Please, the last question. Sonuncu sualdır çünkü bizim vaxtımız artıq bayat tutdu. Mənə buradan işarələr edirlər.
Hello.
Where are you?
Upper side.
Oh, okay, somewhere there.
Yep.
Okay.
Hello, Sadhguru. Welcome to Azerbaijan. Sorry, I'm really excited. I am Bago, I'm from Azerbaijan, and my question is, you have large amount of knowledge, and when you talk, we really can find something from our own. So you really has nice explanation about the world, I would say. But the question here is…
the question, yeah, that's great.
The question here is, how you develop yourself? So what's your daily routine maybe to developing yourself? So it's obvious that you don't stop there and something comes to your brain, so you should do something. But what is it? What's the secret? Thank you.
The question is, what's your secret?
What's my secret? So you don't want it to be a secret anymore?
That's why let's keep it in secret.
Once I speak about it, it's not a secret anymore. So I think yesterday, day before in Tbilisi, one lady stood up and asked, Sadhguru… No, I'm sorry, I think it was in Istanbul, that this lady stood up and asked, Sadhguru, why is it all these children, the children love you so much? Why is it? You're a spiritual leader, they shouldn't even know about you, they love you. I said, see, this is a secret between you and me, don't tell anybody. Of course, the whole hall was there. Don't tell anybody, this is just between you and me. Because I just kept myself as I was born. I did not allow parents, education, society to contaminate me. That's all.
Thank you very much. Suallara göre teşekkür edirik. I want to thank everyone for this question. So we have Leila with her barefoot.
Thank you very much. Let's make a warm applause for our Turala Sadov and of course our dear Sadhguru.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, for your attendance. I enjoyed your conversation. I believe that the same on the audience, right? Dear Sadhguru, I would also love to greet and to make a big thank. I would love to share our emotions and, of course, the big team of Sadhguru, the big team of volunteers. They made their best to this event come true, and of course, Isha Foundation. Our greetings. Thank you very much.
Give a round of applause to your team.
And last but not the least, dear Sadhguru, I would love to thank all of our guests, our audience. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for being with us. And thank you.
This is a message.
Of course I will. Please, dear guests, follow our social pages. I mean, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And share your thoughts, share your photos. SaveSoil.org website with as many people as you can. Please share this website with all of your friends. And of course, if you will post something, do not forget to make a hashtag SaveSoil, and we will sing together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you will hear the anthem of SaveSoil tonight, and you can also learn it, you can sing it and share it with your friends as well. Dear Sadhguru,
we have to say
all of our love comes to you tonight. All of our energy comes to you. Thank you very much. We will sing together.
Let's sing it. Let's start it.
If you have some more remarks, some more thoughts.
This is a generational thing. It's not just about you and me. As a generation, we can be that generation which turned back from the brink of a disaster, or we can be that generation which slept through and walked into the disaster and of course grieve about it later. I'm saying this because we've been doing this continuously. We don't have to go back too far. In the last 100 years, how many times have nations pledged saying that we will never again fight another war? But how many wars have we fought in the last 100 years? And then cry about it after it's over, after millions of people are dead. Again and again we're doing the same things. This is because we walk into disasters, which we could have avoided. We don't mitigate it before it comes, we walk into it and then cry. This is a disaster we must mitigate, because once we walk into it, there may be no way of walking out of it. That is the kind of disaster it is. So I beseech every one of you, that all of you here in this hall who are educated, informed, and all of you have that phone. Is it a smartphone or a dumb phone? What do you have? Hello? Is it a smart one or a dumb one? Smartphone. So if you have a smartphone, you must use it smartly, because you can send a few silly messages, it's okay. I'm all right with that. But you need to understand, this is not just an instrument to send some silly messages to your friends. This is a powerhouse. If you use it right, just you as an individual can change the world. That is the power that it has. Do whatever you have to do. But in the next few days, we are looking at this approximately, we don't have a number, people are giving me a feeling, not at a clear number, we could have touched, or we nearly about 1.2 to 1.3 billion people have spoken about soil since 21st of March. But that's not good for us, we want 3 to 4 billion people. 3 to 4 billion people means 60% of the adult population on the planet. If they speak, no democratically ruled nation will be able to reject that. Every government will go for it. I want you to understand, generally in democracies, here maybe it's a more stable and long-term kind of thing, but in most democracies, leaders get elected for 4 years or maximum 5 years. Suppose you were the president or prime minister of some of the major nations in the world and you had only 4 years. Would you do work that will take 15 to 20 years to show results? Would you do that? Unless people gave you a mandate, you do it, we are with you, you will not do it. In no nation in the entire world ever have 60% of the population stood up and said, we have long-term concerns about the well-being of this nation, the well-being of our children and the future of future generations. We are concerned about this. This has never been expressed by any population. This Save Soil movement is that movement. which is trying to get this expression from people that 60% of the adult population should speak and say something about their concern about soil. And this many of you, every one of you has a smartphone, I'm seeing it's pointed at me, don't shoot me, okay? If you people here in this hall, and especially those people who are in the upper regions of the world, hello? Yep. So, if all of you here in Baku, if you make up your mind, I'm telling you, in your hands you have the instrument. For the first time in the history of humanity, you have the power in the world. Sitting in your chair, you can reach the whole world. Never was it possible, isn't it? Never, ever was it possible for any human being to do this. This is our opportunity, this is our time on the planet. Will we do the right things is the question. If you make up your mind, just this many people, you can get those 3 to 4 billion people. All you have to do is spend 15 to 20 minutes a day enhancing the message in whichever way you can. If you go on the SaveSoil.org website, there are toolkits how to… if you don't know how to start a Twitter account, how to start this thing, how to enhance the message, you can just learn this in 10 minutes' time. In 10 minutes there is a lesson as to how you can do it. If we have any care and concern for the life that we are, and especially the future generations who should be here and live better than us, if that is your concern, this needs to happen right now. Let's make it happen. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we have one present for you from audience.
Oh.
That's for you.
Thank you. This is my niece writing for you. She's young artist.
Oh, hello. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. And we are very happy to represent to you the Soil Anthem, which has created soil waves across the world. A dance for Earth. Let's talk soil, sing soil, breathe soil, and live soil all together.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Of soil is, it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
let them play. Let's sing together.
Dear Ambassador, please welcome to the stage.
Our audience can sing with us, right?